Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, I hope you've got a snack handy because we are diving headfirst into an absolutely mouth-watering foodie adventure today. We're looking at some incredible discoveries from the popular Nagasaki YouTuber Noguchi Takeshi. He recently checked out a local spot that completely blew his mind. And honestly, looking at these dishes, it's about to blow ours too. So, let's jump right in. So picture this. You're exploring Japan, you just hopped off the train, you're absolutely starving, and you're craving some top-tier, super fresh local seafood. Oh, and maybe some premium beef too. Where exactly can you find twitching live squid and Wagyu beef sushi literally a 3-minute walk from the station? Well, Noguchi Takeshi found exactly that at a spot called Sakanaya Dojo in Isahaya. But the crazy convenience, that's really just the beginning. Before we get to the actual feast, let's talk about why this place is just so perfectly set up. Like I said, Sakanaya Dojo is under 3 minutes from the Isahaya Station east exit. You walk through the doors, and boom, there are massive tanks with actual live fish and squid swimming right inside. It's got these great semi-private booths if you want a chill dinner, but they also have the capacity to host huge 40-person banquets. And my personal favorite detail? On weekends and holidays, they open up at 3 p.m. I mean, it's literally the ultimate spot for an early afternoon drink and an epic meal. All right, let's get into the food. Right out of the gate, Noguchi Takeshi is served atsugiri katsuo. That's thick-cut bonito. And guys, we aren't talking about your standard paper-thin sashimi here. These are incredibly rich, super meaty, glowing red slices of fish that just pack a massive umami punch. It immediately sets the bar sky high and lets you know this kitchen is not messing around when it comes to quality. But then, the absolute star of the show hits the table. You literally have to picture this. It's a plate of squid as sashimi, so fresh, it is completely translucent. Noguchi Takeshi was freaking out, saying, "This transparency is crazy, it's still twitching." And he wasn't exaggerating even a little bit. This is live squid, prepared so fast and with such skill that the tentacles are literally still moving. It totally rivals the famous squid you'd get in Yobuko, giving you that incredibly satisfying firm crunch that you really only get when seafood is just unbelievably fresh. And here's where we see the real magic of a Japanese izakaya. It's a two-part experience. First, you savor all that translucent, crunchy sashimi fresh and raw. But then, you don't just leave the tentacles sitting on the plate, no way. For just 300 extra yen, the kitchen takes what's left of your squid and cooks it up for you. You can get it tempura fried or salt grilled. Noguchi Takeshi went with the salt grilled option, which is such a pro move because it unlocks all these deep, savory umami flavors without weighing you down. It's literally two incredible dishes for the price of one. Section 1. Surf and Turf Delights when Nagasaki Wagyu meets fresh sea urchin. Seriously, just look at this masterpiece. It's called Wagyu Uni Sushi, and it is the absolute ultimate umami combo. On one hand, you've got the intense, savory flavor and that melt-in-your-mouth fat of premium Nagasaki Wagyu beef. And on the other, you have the creamy, briny, sweet explosion of fresh uni or sea urchin. When you get all of that in a single bite, the rich meat perfectly harmonizes with the luxurious uni. Noguchi Takeshi actually noted that the umami of the meat hits you first, and then it's immediately followed by the beautiful sweetness of the sea urchin. Just pure decadence. And hey, you can't talk about Nagasaki without mentioning goma hirasu, or sesame yellowtail. If you've never had it, this is a super popular local delicacy where firm, bouncy yellowtail sashimi gets marinated in this really rich, sweet sesame sauce. Noguchi Takeshi vividly described grabbing a piece of this perfectly marinated fish and wrapping it in a bright, herbaceous shiso leaf before eating it. The sweet sesame, the rich fish, the refreshing hit of the shiso, it is an absolute flavor bomb. Moving right along to Section 2, Nagasaki's fried specialties. Crispy, hot, and surprisingly rare. First up in the fried lineup, we have a true local classic called surimi age. This is freshly minced and seasoned fish paste that is deep fried until it's perfectly golden brown. Now, Noguchi Takeshi emphasized a very crucial rule here. You absolutely have to eat this fresh out of the fryer while it is piping hot. Biting through that crispy, hot exterior to get to the fluffy, savory fish inside, I mean, it's pretty much the definition of Japanese comfort food. But that actually brings us to a really fascinating culinary question. What exactly happens when you take a piece of fish that is so incredibly fresh you could easily serve it as premium sashimi, and you drop it straight into a deep fryer? The answer to that gave us easily the most visually stunning dish of the entire night. Enter the rare fried horse mackerel, or aji. By flash frying this hyper-fresh piece of mackerel, the chef pulls off some absolute magic. As Noguchi Takeshi happily pointed out, you get this beautiful, golden, crispy outside, but the inside stays fluffy, pink, and totally rare. The freshness is literally locked right in. It was so good that he actually ate the first few bites completely plain, no sauce at all, before just adding a tiny dash of ponzu. That is always the sign of premium ingredients doing all the heavy lifting. And you know what's crazy? This feast was just a tiny fraction of their menu. The variety here is wild. Beyond the epic sashimi platters and the premium Wagyu, they have classic yakitori skewers, salmon cream cheese spring rolls, a summer-limited spicy garlic chicken, tons of sushi, desserts, you name it. It's the kind of massive variety that guarantees every single person at the table is going to find something they absolutely love, no matter what they're in the mood for. So, what's the big takeaway from Noguchi Takeshi's mouth-watering adventure? Honestly, it's a brilliant pro tip for anyone traveling in Japan. Sakanaya Dojo is actually a large chain restaurant, but the secret is that they empower their local branches to create unique, high-quality regional menus. You might walk past a chain expecting, standard generic food, but inside they're serving localized masterpieces like ultra-fresh Yobuko-style squid and premium Nagasaki Wagyu that totally rival the independent specialty shops. It's such a great surprise that really rewards curious travelers. And that wraps up our delicious deep dive today. But I have to leave you with one final question. After seeing that glowing Wagyu sushi and learning about the crispy, fluffy, rare fried mackerel, are you ready to book a ticket to Isahaya and taste that twitching live squid for yourself? Because I definitely am. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next one.